Welcome to the Smite Pro League, powered by Curse Voice. Gandhi, joined by Hindu Man, and we are rocking our brand new bonafide jackets. I feel really sexy in this.
I don't know. I feel like a sausage wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah, you're like a bratwurst.
I am.
You got a lot of, it's condensed.
A sausage roll is what
Yeah, there you go. You're a sausage roll. Anyways, today this is the final week of the SPL, and today is Saturday, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the schedule that is ahead of us. Starting off with upcoming stars versus TheNightsWatch. Then we will be going over into North America to see Enemy Esports versus Legion of Carrots. And then the final game of the day is Cloud9 versus AFK, played in-house in our studio. And I can look at Jeff Hindler right now.
I can also see him too with his luscious locks.
Yeah, and his great beard.
His great big bushy
beard. He's like a...
And we've seen those two in-house today as well. That would decide the #1 spot in North America, I believe. Based off those, but our first game of the day that we'll be doing is going to be the upcoming stars versus TheNightsWatch, which is going to be an interesting one because you can see on the standings that we're going to bring up on the screen now that they are both in the relegation. They've both been demoted. However, if TheNightsWatch can 2-0 upcoming stars here, Gandhi, then they'll take 7th seed, which means they don't have to face the #1 team. Yeah,
they face #2 coming out of Challenger Cup, which is definitely important. But I think upcoming stars, it's so weird that their 2 wins have come from such premier teams in the SPL.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, the ones that everyone would assume that upcoming stars would lose to, they ended up actually taking a game. Like Fnatic. Who the hell saw that coming? But it did happen. So upcoming stars, for a while there and in the middle, everyone was kind of talking about it, right? We were like, oh, they're on this upward trend, right? You know, everything's starting to look good. And then I even predicted them in a week to 2-0, which didn't end up happening versus Team Dignitas, right? And now we find themselves kind of at the bottom competing for not last place, which they were at in the spring split.
They were the spring split, but they've come out better, a lot better this season.
For sure,
as well.
yeah. It's weird. They're definitely not like a weak team when we say like 7th, 8th, right? But we're going to take a look at the North American standings here so we can show you exactly what will be happening here. Cloud9 versus AFK. Keep in mind, AFK has to win 2-0 over Cloud9 to take the #1 seed.
That's correct.
And if Cloud9 just takes a game, they will have it. And that's going to be happening, again, like I said earlier, in studio. But really for me this weekend, it's all about the Denial Esports first team solo mid in North America, which happens tomorrow.
That was going to all be to do. That's tomorrow, and that's going to be all to do with which team's going to make it to the LAN. Same for EU, where we're going to see Blood Conspiracy up against Paradigm, formerly known as Trig, and those guys will be facing off for that #3 spot in EU as well. So tomorrow's going to be really exciting. For sure. But today we still get to work out who's going to be #1 in NA. Yeah.
Which is definitely important, and it's in-house.
It isn't.
Can't beat that. You know, I made a tweet about it earlier. I said one of the best things that Smite has that I think a lot of other games don't have is the relationship between the professionals and the developers, right? And when I said developers, really just hi-rez as a whole. I mean, we spend so much time with them. I mean, it's a weekend at a time.
Yeah, but we get to hang out with them, get a little idea of what they do on their downtime and how they think as well. Because then when we go into the games, we can like commentate about what kind of person they are in real life, because that influences the way you play.
It also helps them understand exactly what happens on our end, and then it helps the developers figure out what's the pros would like to see. But without further ado, I believe it is time to get ready to go into picks and bans between upcoming stars and TheNightsWatch. Hindu, predictions.
Predictions for this one, I think I gave this 2-0 to upcoming stars originally. I gave upcoming stars the 2-0.
I think I did the same.
I did. I gave upcoming stars 2-0 just because TheNightsWatch. I believe today as well I did hear is that the man himself, Ninja Bobat, is graduating today, so he won't be playing in this game. They're going to be having Zindan step in for them in the jungle again, so he's back in that. But Bobat did graduate today. So did Ninja Dimmy as well. I believe they both go to the same school.
Really?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you not know that, Mr. European expert?
It's one of those things where I don't actually go to their houses and find out exactly who they live with and who they actually know in real life.
That's what you should do.
Europe's a small place.
For sure.
It really is.
It's the size of Connecticut. Athena has been banned out,
how big that is.
And Ares. So that's exactly how you know we're in Europe, because Ares is a primary ban.
Well, Ares isn't necessarily a primary ban, but Wolf of Elo Street's Ares is very strong. He likes to focus it. What you see from Wolf of Elo Street is he likes to go for the aggressive supports. And so take that one off the table. I expect to potentially see... Actually, no.
Were you going to say the Ymir?
That's my fault, because it's not Wolf of Elo Street. It is actually a shot at there on his Ares instead. I expect to see Ymir, but there's the Ymir getting through, and that's going to be first picked in. Could be support, could be jungle. He's a very, very mobile role. He could even solo lane most of the time that people don't realize.
Cherry could go ahead and bring him into the jungle, but Qin definitely well versed on this god. As Janus will go ahead and get picked up for the TheNightsWatch. We'll be going to Carino. we used to see Janus played in the solo, and we might soon with the upcoming changes, right? Mages might be back, but as it stands now, this is a Janus mid, and well, now you have Bellona, which could be a solo or a jungle, but I think the versatility of Bellona in the jungle is definitely better.
I mean, with the composition as well, if it is Zindan playing for them today and Ninja Bobat's not here, he did go for Bellona a lot of opportunities for him to do that. He went many, many times in the jungle there. He likes the god in the jungle. He likes the ability to get around and use the mobility of the Eagles rally to dunk down and force an issue.
So Geb has been acquired for upcoming stars, which means this will be a Ymir jungle, and now they have Isis as well. So they have a very strong invade potential comp already coming out of upcoming stars. Geb's not going to bring a whole lot to that invade besides, you know, maybe throwing out just a knockup, but I mean, Ymir and Isis are amazing early on.
Well, Geb's on this mid to late game, but what he also does is Geb is very good against Ymir because of their shield. It can remove the freeze that connects with him. Also the slow as well, so you can actually cause a lot of issues for Ymir. Picking up Geb early from upcoming stars isn't a bad call at all because it then means that TheNightsWatch have to go deeper in their god pool. And with Ares banned out, Sylvanas banned out, and Athena banned out, you're looking like Bacchus Kumba corner here for a potential of what they're going to pick up next.
And you got to favor Bacchus in that scenario. Kumba, we've seen him played a couple times, but it's really just, you know, he comes out, he throws his abilities, and then it just seems he kind of runs around with a chicken with his head cut off in a team fight.
I mean, Kumba's got a lot of abilities to him, but a lot of people have taken a long time to work out that he's actually stronger than a lot of people realize. He's got the best setup in any support in game.
You think?
To confirm damage, yeah. 100%. He can confirm any skill if you want to with a Kumba Corner ultimate if you time it perfectly right. An Al Kwang ultimate, a Poseidon Kraken. The only one he doesn't really work very well with is a Janus, but he's going to be a Guan Yu here. And that
Do you mean Kukulkan?
Kukulkan. Did I say that?
You said Al Guang.
Oh, God, I went old school. Oh, that's embarrassing.
You can really set up the execute fantastic.
You can. Actually, you technically can because it really lands
to the Reddit, man. I'm making you worse. Confirmed.
God.
Guan Yu has been picked up here. Could be a support. Could
Probably
be.
is. Probably is now.
Yeah. Think so?
Yeah, more than likely going to be a Guan Yu support, especially with what the composition is against. On top of that, Guan Yu is very, very good against the Geb in lane. Geb does
shreds
have
the protection.
Shreds the protection. That's a big key. Shreds protection, and the shockwave can't interrupt the Tele Assault because when you use the 3 on Guan Yu, it's knock-up immune, so you can keep putting that pressure on.
And the other thing is Geb isn't exactly the best in lane either. I mean, it's not like they're going to have an amazing lane push.
That's
so
right.
when you have Guan Yu go into the support role, I mean, you're going to always have that wave shoved all the way up to the enemy's tower, which definitely is something that TheNightsWatch is looking at. But with the final pick here, it will be Alpuash. And
that's a Janus solo then.
That is a Janus.
Or is it really Alpuash? Is it really Alpuash solo? No, I don't know where that's going.
Maybe production made a mistake.
That's not uncommon.
I mean, that's 100% right. Confirmed.
So it's Janus solo.
Okay.
It's going to be Janus solo. It's going to be Alpuash mid.
It's Alpuash. He could be played in the solo. Maybe question mark just because he's going against Hercules and the healing.
And the healing means he can get stunned and the
he does have slows, and Hercules is a little bit worse against slows. It could be Alpuash.
Zendan's jungle, and it is going to be Alpuash solo. Good call. Good call. Stop poking me, Gandhi. People can't see that, but that really hurts. But Game Hunter is going to be on Alpuash. Now, this is one thing that I like about Game Hunter is he kind of messes around. He looks like he's coming back to his old days. Now, you were around when he first came out, but what Game Hunter used to do was like try things. He's like the EU version of Devious before Devious was even a twinkle in his father's eye.
Now, to be fair.
Well, I'm saying like this is what Game Hunter is known for. He'll throw things at you like, why the hell is he picking that? And it might work. Against the composition he's against, though, I don't like the Hercules Ymir that he's going to have to go against because they have full kill potential against him here in this.
For sure.
If Cherio blinks in, freezes Game Hunter, and then Sausage Fellas up, Alpuash is going to have a hard time.
Yep. Well, you got to respect Sausage's build here off the beginning. He started off with hand 2 because he's going up against a mage in the solo lane so he can compete with the clear. Normally, you know, if you're going up against another solo, you can kind of see hand 1 will suffice.
On top of that, he's also taking some magical protection straight off the bat. Probably go straight into Stone of Gaia, honestly, is an opportunity for him just to reduce the amount of burst that Game Hunter can put out on it.
Rip Stone of Gaia. I haven't seen that item built in so long.
It's still a very, very good item. It's just the reason you've not seen it built very often anymore is because there's not been that many solo lane mages.
Yeah, there's not a lot of mages, for sure.
You've not had to really deal with it. One thing we didn't really touch on is the Isis pick in mid lane by Frosty is very, very good against the Bellona because you can drop that circle of protection before you can Eagles rally and just, you know, protect yourself to an extent when that ultimate comes down and then burst back, heal yourself back up.
So a little bit of a different start here for the members of Upcoming Stars if they have elected to 3 camp on the right side, which means Isis will not have her red buff off the start. And now you're taking a look at Alpuash being played by Game Hunter here, and You know, Outwatch does use a lot of mana, so having him with the mana buff is definitely going to be nice for him. But they also skipped over speed, so they could shove the wave.
They were worried about the early invade, so they did their blue buff early on. Because if you get invaded by Ymir Hercules, you're going to have a bad time as obvious as an Outwatch. Even Bellona's not going to be able to deal with both of them at the same time. So they played it safe. And what you saw from Upcoming Stars is they expected, this is why they did that extra camp. They expected them to try and do something like that, and so they can get the push back for themselves again. And on top of that, leaving that red buff up means that Cherio potentially can go over there, get some extra experience, and hit level 5 a little bit quicker.
Finally hitting level 3 here, so now Game Hunter will have his full combo. You will be able to see him at least be able to blow up the wave and do a little bit of extra damage as Cherio has now rotated.
Yeah, there's a ward down in the jungle where Bellona is right now, and just he's stood on it at the moment. You can see that's why they saw the rotation coming out from Cherio. Now they rotate for that red buff though. And with the back harpies being taken on both sides here, this is a nice opportunity because it actually got the duo lane ahead by starting back harpies and the left purple and the purple as well, because they were able to get more experience just for themselves instead of sharing with the mid laner.
And so now Zindern and Carino will be able to take the one back camps, push it into the middle again, and then go for the back right back camps on their side.
There's actually one thing I do like about delaying the red buff here, Gandhi, and that's because the red buff will still be online for when these mid harpies spawn, which means that Isis's damage will be a little bit
just
higher
a little
for
bit
them.
more, yeah.
Just a little bit. It's a small thing, but it can really like add up. If you're looking for a kill or a big team fight, it could really help you out by having that red buff online.
Yep. It's the little things, man. There's nothing bigger.
There's nothing bigger than the little things.
Yeah.
That's what my girlfriend says. 2 minutes 33 into the game now, and mid harpies will be spawning relatively soon, and I'm going to be interested to see what happens with Geb and Guan Yu, because when their rotation comes out, if Guan Yu, which is doing okay at the moment, if Guan Yu can actually like get himself to level 5 or be close to it and get that camp beforehand, Geb can be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we'll swing on into that way as Sausage is going to hit the rotation as well, and you can see Guan Yu. Wolf of Elo Street, he's en route. Freeze comes out from Ymir. He's got a wall as well. He is disarmed, but Game Hunter's going to be here. And this might result in a kill here.
He's in the crypts.
The crypts will do it as Zinder goes through it. Oh my god, driving strike into the face. It's Carino trying to do it. He drops the portal. They wisely avoid it. And I'm not sure who got the XP camps there.
I'm not sure who got the experience either, but what I do know is that NightsWatch did not get first blood there. That did go over to Sausage on Upcoming Stars. That was a really
driving
nice
strike.
Frosty, well,
in the face.
What happened though was Frosty delayed his ultimate as long as possible. He waited for the full duration, exploded it. He was very, very patient with it because Cherio was in a lot of trouble, and he was like, no, I'm going to keep holding it. I'm going to keep holding it, and boom. Dealt all the damage back, and you can see straight away the Zindern falls down for the first blood. It's followed up straight away by Game Hunter, though, with those crypts.
Yep. Zindern just, instead of using Eagle's Rally in the way to engage, he just takes the portal. And because of that Sausage with amazing reaction time just goes, oh yeah, one.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation was good from both Sausage and Game
really
Hunter too for those right-hand harpies. Left ones, not sure where they went to right now, but I can see in the gold at the moment between the two teams. There's a 200 gold lead for Upcoming Stars, which is for that first blood that they just picked up. So I'm pretty sure both mid-harpies kind of went eat there as well.
Gotta love that. Cheerio throwing the wall up to delay, so that way Frosty can acquire all of the XP. Now, speaking of Game Hunter into the solo lane, right? So we just see him. He started off with level 1 of Breastplate of Valor. And now he is going into Shoes of the Magi here. Was he just afraid of the early game of Hercules?
Oh, as we look into the jungle right now, looking for a speed buff there, but they're not going to find it at the time being. As it was delayed, I don't think they realized that.
They also got Eagle's Rally out of this as well.
Oh,
through space and time is coming. There's 3 people. 4 people coming for the rotation. They fall through, but a beautiful wall from
Just
Cheerio.
disengages the whole thing. Now, the one thing is they were not going to be able to steal away the blue buff here, though. The good rotation from both the supports over to this engagement too, but blue buff's going to go in the side of NightsWatch, and it's all down to that wall from Cheerio that actually saved Sausage from some potential kill scenario.
Yeah, it was a very, very good wall.
Going back to what you were saying, though, about Game Hunter and this breastplate build at the start.
Shine some light on that for me, Babs.
The main reason he's gone for the breastplate of Valor at the start is he doesn't know his lane opponent yet. He's not sure how aggressive they're going to play. And if he does go aggressive, he can full build this breastplate of Valor, be safer. If he's having a good lane and things are going well, he's still going to build breastplate later on, but he can invest in the boots. So what Game Hunter's found so far in this lane is like, okay, we're both 1-1. He's not done anything too scary to me. I'm not threatened by him just yet, so I can invest elsewhere.
Oh, beautiful blink. followed up. Desert Fury there. Cataclysm's
so
good. That'll secure the kill as Moex is going to just try to dump everything he can.
That was almost cleaner. What you saw there, the blink was absolutely perfect from Kieran. The only problem was that Moex landed right on his head and knocked him straight up, so it looked a little bit messier than it could have been, and he should have dropped a little bit quicker, but a great play coming out from upcoming stars there.
Man, it never ceases to amaze me how much damage Bludgeon actually does. And well, we're going to see the Night's Watch. They're moving into the jungle. They might find themselves in a little bit of a sandwich here, but Gold Fury was the idea, but they give up on that one.
Buff. They lost their purple buff over on the left-hand side there, so upcoming stars extending their lead a little bit now. And with these mid-harpies spawning, we probably see a 1-for-1 split unless Night's Watch really feel like contesting these. They do have Guan Yu, but one good wall from Cherry could just like cut that off immediately.
Yep. And they're going to just give it up completely. Threshold respecting it, trying to steal it away with Spirit Ball. Not able to do so. Game Center is here for the rotation. Sausage is here as well. They drop it down here, hits the slow, avoids the knock-up. And now Eagles Rally comes in. They're going to try to turn this one. He's silenced out. Wolf of Elo Street's on the horse. He has the stun on Sausage, shredding the protections. They're just stealing the mid-harpies. Meanwhile, there's no damage coming in from the team. And now Cherio trying to run away, and he will live to see another day as the knock-up was great from Sausage.
A 1-for-1 and Night's Watch get both mid-harpies. This was a small misplay overall by upcoming stars. Cherio, go back to the original left harpies first of all. Cherio was too busy trying to zone instead of just throwing his Glacial Strike down and taking the camp, which they could have done before Night's Watch could get in there. They were too worried about that. They end up giving up the left ones, then the right ones happen, and they end up getting contested there again, and Night's Watch get those. So even though they both went kill for kill, I feel like Night's Watch came out on top of that. But now they're looking for the Gold Fury upcoming stars here, which could be the better call here, as there's a very low mana Zimdern here. I don't think they realize it though. If they realize how low mana Zimdern was, they could potentially still go for that.
Wolf of Elo Street is now here and looking at it. He does have hand 3, so that is going to be online, as well as the Geb. So they have to pick and choose their battles very wisely. May hand rest in peace.
I'm going to miss hand. All the supports are the same.
Yeah, I know.
Never mind. We'll just go for Girdle of Support, and then you'll all be upset. And when I nerf Guardian, be ready. Be ready. Especially with Susan Medjay going to get like a penetration buff too. Thanks very much for that. We're happy. But the one thing to know as well, that both the Hunters have gone once again for Death's Toll into Devour's Gauntlets. This is kind of like going swinging back again. There's been a lot of talk about Transcendence being a thing, Tier 2 Transcendence rushes, as well as Assy being a potential thing going forward. But both these have just chosen to go for the standard just sustain build in terms of HP, but they've got to watch their mana.
Why would we not see the burst damage come out of actually Medusa though? Who excel. Well, both of these gods are very good early on, and they have extreme kill potential as well.
They do have extreme kill potential, but I think what they're both trying to do here is get maximum damage and not necessarily have. They're trying to just use their mana wisely. And then actually when they do need to use mana, is they're all in with the extra damage that they can get. Because
well, the ping's down, as now Carinia will go ahead and clear this one up, and hi-rez is just doing an excellent job of just controlling the wave. He's got a 2-level advantage as it stands right now over Moex, who should be close to hitting level 10, but upcoming stars is now pushing in. The Scourge has come down. Unstable Vortex did connect with Qin, and now it's a battle for vision.
That whole lead that Moex has, the whole lead hi-rez has got over Moex here, it comes down to that play by Qin. Because he killed him just before the wave came in, he lost a full wave to tower plus an additional wave. And the rotations have been very, very good from both the supports. So that's why you can see that lead has developed so much. It's about a level now.
Which is a huge shout out to Qin, who was able to weather the storm of the early game of Guan Yu.
Well, the Medusa pick isn't that bad to actually help him out with the push power. That was the issue that they were potentially going to have there in that lane. So he's a little bit aggressive here, but he's got Cherio in tow coming down near the speed buff, so he shouldn't worry too much.
Yeah. You can just see Game Hunter. Well, he gets the stun as well, which that's really, at the end of the day, the matchup you're looking for, or the idea you're looking for is, well, Hercules just heals a lot.
Yep, let's stun him after the heal and potentially go all in on him one more time. On top of that, they can also do that on the Circle of Protection from Isis too, if they hit multiple targets there. Cherry's a little bit aggressive here, but he's got support coming.
That's a great silent spear ball off the mark, jumping in from Eagles Rally. Wolf of Elo Street on the horse. He's got the stun on Cherio. Cherio forced all the way out of this one, but on the backside is hi-rez. The crypts have been emptied, and he might be able to get one. That's definitely going to be a kill. And now he is out of mana. The boulder gets tossed overhead as a player will be backing. Unstable Vortex connects. Wolf of Elo Street doing everything he can. He was in a 1-on-3, and he was able to back him up as Moex finally getting into the fight. And the question that has to be asked is, will they start up Gold Fury? And the answer is, No.
No, the question is who the hell's going to shut down Game Hunter? Because he just picked up 3 kills so far this game, all 3 of them for his team.
Breastplate's
on
done.
these rotations. Breastplate's great for the cooldown reduction, which allows him to continue to sustain even more and throw out those abilities. Plus, it gives him mana, and that's one issue that now puch can suffer from, is the mana usage early on. That's why put him solo with a blue buff isn't that much of a bad idea.
It really isn't. And then on top of that, every single puch ends up building Chronos Pendant, so what better than to just have a Breastplate of Valor just for her, and then...
They build Chronos Pendant because they need the cooldown reduction and they need the mana regen. But Zindan's going to get caught out here. He might have to use Eagle's Rally. He just came up in time and actually jumps out with it, queuing now into as well. Good silence. Great impale from Moex, though. And Carino's going to clean that one up with the Unstable Vortex. And it was actually upcoming Star's aggression there that cost him.
Yep. hi-rez was trying to poke him out, but Anhur, a.k.a. Moex, was like, well, if you want to do this, you can. You have much lower mana than me, and, well, we both love throwing our abilities.
Small little things about that play there. What you can see is Moex over in that left-hand lane. Maestro rotates, there's a sentry ward there, so he knew they had no vision of his rotation. He would have been a little bit more careful about that rotation if he had an idea that they could have seen him coming and turned all in on him. But Moex's rotation there was good ward coverage usage to actually realize he had that opportunity. I'm saying that, but Moex, as a player that I know, he probably didn't even think like that. He probably didn't think.
He was probably like, well, you know, I'm gonna go anyways, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna be making this rotation, so it's gotta happen.
Minimap turned off knowing Moex.
And poor Sausage has just been pushed under lane, and he's been in the right spots at the right time for the camps. I mean, every single mid camp that has popped up, he's there at 3 minutes, right?
I mean, Sausage isn't really behind right now. His build's okay. He's 200, considering, like, look at the gold difference between the two. It's about 200. And when you consider the gold difference and the fact that Game Hunter's got 3 kills, that's not bad from Sausage. On top of that,
he's been fantastic.
The teleport investment, though, is very, very strong for him, too.
Gets him there just a little bit quicker, which puch, there is about a 4% chance that he ends up building into teleport.
He might have to, and that's not something he'd
I don't
really
know
like.
if he will, man.
I don't think he'd want to. That's the big key. He wouldn't want to. The only good thing so far is Game Hunter's rotations for these mid-harpies have been so important for TheNightsWatch to keep them in this game, and now because of that, they have a very marginal lead.
Well, Frosty now, he's waiting on his teammates. He's going to try to steal this away with Spirit Ball, but it just gets crushed instantly. And he goes and checks around the corner.
Did I get it?
Did I get it?
Did I get anyone?
Mom, I'm on TV. No, I'm not. Just the jumbo screen.
That's the whole matchup for the Hercules there. He's really not having the easiest of the games. I mean, to be fair, he's not going to die in this lane unless he really misplays it. But it's kind of a, well, I'm just going to get pushed all the time. It's Mage versus Warrior, sort of an old meta. But this is the chance, I guess, for TheNightsWatch to try these things out, ready for the next patch coming out.
For sure. Now, as we take a look at Carino's build here, the freeze comes out from Cherio as there will be the shifting sands dropped as Irons will try to lifesteal off. Eagles rally forced out as well, and Geb's going to hit the rollout. Spirit Ball off the mark. The stun's good, but the Geb shield's a little bit better.
So that little engagement that you saw there, TheNightsWatch come out worse for wear, as they did use 2 ultimates for that. Wolf of Elo Street used the cavalry charge, and Zindan used Eagle's Rally. They did manage to get Circle of Protection off Frosty, though, which delays them being able to do the Gold Fury for a little while, but it wasn't the best little fight for them. Sausage just rotated right over here now. Maybe they're going to try and force something. Well,
they could. Frosty trying to use the third-person cam to his advantage. Threshold is dropped offensively here.
I'm not sure why Sausage
is now. He's going to walk straight up. The knock-up just missing its target.
So what they're doing is they're switching Sausage out from that lane, and they're putting Cherio in there. So we're going to have Sausage do the rotation to check. Oh, Renz is in trouble here.
Yep. Couple more auto attacks, and...
No mana.
Those snakes, man.
Snake's not playing.
Yeah, Snake is definitely not playing. But so as you look at Carino's build, he has full CDR, and it'll take him a little bit longer to kind of get damage online here. Sure, he's got it a little bit from Chronos Pendant, but what we see out of MLC Stealth, who's kind of the premier Janus right now, is he just runs Doom Orb, so he gets that damage on early, and it's so affordable.
You can go Doom Orb and give yourself that spike boost earlier, but if you want to play the safer option, you're worried about getting killed, and I guess Ymir, you can do that. Ymir Isis combo, a little bit risky to try and go for that Doom Orb, because
that is fair.
They will try and focus you down. Blink, Cherio comes in, followed by a Spirit Ball to the back of the head. And
it's definitely probably better to just have as many portals, aka get out of jail free cards, as possible.
Well, look at his build now. He's probably going to go into Book of Thoth anyway, so his damage will start.
It could be a Soul Reaver.
It could be. I mean, we have this conversation.
It could be a very early Soul Reaver.
Every time cast, we have a Janus in the game, and we always have that same debate at that same point when we see that item.
Hey, well, at least it's not DM, like 50, who as soon as he hears Soul, he's just like, Soul Eater? What? I play in the solo lane.
Yeah.
Oh, Unstable Vortex will shove the wave up, and all things told, Carino, he's got a 2-level advantage over top of the Isis, and he's done fantastic with dealing with the strong early game of ISIS.
Well, Mox has done a good job of catching up so far as well, because he's level 14 alongside Ren's here. It looks like Ren should hit level 15 off this wave, though. I believe. There we go. You can just see that. So he's still got a small lead, but it's not as much as it was.
Iren's now pushing out of this one as Cherio will start up this purple before him. Nope. He's like, well, you know, you got lifesteal, bro. You can handle this.
TheNightsWatch is starting to win this game based off mid-harpies here, Gandhi. They're getting more control of them time and time again. I don't know what's going on with upcoming stars because they were in great control at the beginning of this game, but they've started to give them up now. I don't know whether that's because of the Game Hunter's rotations to these mid-harpies and the fact they don't feel the fights have been going well, but they're starting to hemorrhage mid-harpies time and time again, and this is hurting them.
Oh, Iren's, he could lacerate up. He's got one level advantage, and Pale sends him backwards, and it's definitely the right idea from Iren's is to try to fight into creeps, just giving him that little bit of advantage, and he does have Ichaival. So as soon as you have Ichaival, it's like, well, let's fight. And now upcoming stars, they have the ability to start up this Gold Fury, and Iren's is doing just that. Spirit Ball is dumped in, and Moex is seeing that, so he knows it's going to be on cooldown.
Keep an eye on Janus. Oh, this is going to go free to upcoming stars, but will there be a follow-up? Zinder's gone through that portal quickly. Great silence up to delay him. The ultimate from Cavalry Charge does not connect, but maybe they'll catch Cherry.
Oh, that's a big boulder, followed by the Irons pushing up there. Eagles rally forced out defensively. Upcoming stars now pushing, just like
Great
that.
play.
Beautiful circle of protection coming out of Frosty. Securing
Frosty
a kill.
blinking in. He blinked in to circle protection and burst that down. Game Hunter, without teleport, can't rotate around the map. So what does he do? He takes the tier 1 tower. Now he's going to go back to base. It's over. But Spirit Ball connects.
And that is why you go full CDR Janus. that is the exact thing we were talking about earlier.
Pretty much. And I was just saying upcoming stars have made a misplay by giving up so many mid-harpies, but what they did there was they baited TheNightsWatch into thinking they were going to get mid-harpies for free, and instead they started the Gold Fury, take the first one of the game for themselves, and actually give themselves a little bit of a gold lead. But experience, pretty even still. It's still a close game.
Yeah, it's been neck and neck this entire game here. Now, the only real thing that will change now is that, well, Sausage has to push up his wave just a little bit more and keep an eye on Game Hunter, but Game Hunter isn't exactly going to turn into a split-pushing Apwash, right? He needs to be in these team fights.
He does.
He's got to be there. So if anything, we maybe might see a lane swap come out.
I think what we'll see now is the tower's down, is the game that Sausage won't mind. So Game Hunter won't mind losing his tower now. So you'll see more rotations coming out of him now. This is what you generally see towards the mid game here. He's top gold on his team as well. Got that spear finished as well, which is just going to increase his damage because he's very dot heavy, is this god.
You know what would have been an awesome pickup here from a solo lane Apwash, which is the dream? Warlocks.
Warlock Sash? I mean, a lot of people do build Warlock Sash on him because of the fact that he's passive where he picks up the dead bodies.
Yeah. Zombies, I get you.
Zombies. I like killing zombies
Technically,
all the time.
zombies are dead bodies, so
That's
you're
right.
all right. You're all right.
But they do run around and scream
Okay,
before
it's
they
okay.
die,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Continue your thought.
But
I'm on
yeah,
you.
I mean, but basically, when you pick them up, you get a percentage of health and mana back on every single one. And with Warlock Sash, that just means you're getting more health and more mana back every single time. Sausage just can't contest with this god. He's just getting poked out every single time he goes near wave. He's just going to keep backing up. Even with Stoner Guy, he's getting chunked.
Yeah, and it also puts Hercules in this weird spot as to when do I hit mitigate wounds? Because you're not... Apwash is so big with burst damage, you never know exactly what is on you until it's just, oh, it's on me. Eagles Rally followed up as now the ultimate forced out from Irons here, and now upcoming stars. They have fully committed on this one. The wall is beautiful. That's one dead Zindern.
It is dead, because at the same time, Sausage teleported in, zoned away Moex from the supporting option, and Zinder just got left in there because he used the Eagles Rally, trying to commit all the way.
And, Heartbreak City here. They're trapping Wolf of Elo Street. Follow-up CC is going to be there.
There you go.
Win Gus as well. Cavalry's... Oh,
there you go. You're out.
Cherry's a beast.
No problem. The horsey falls to the freeze of Cherio. Meanwhile, Game Hunter did manage to get half that tier 2 tower down, so... This game, the longer this game goes on, I really feel the better team fight's going to go to TheNightsWatch when we do see Game Hunter enter the fray, but he needs to enter the fray. That's a big issue for him right now.
Yeah. And Iron's trying to take this tower here. Trying to alleviate the pressure, but Moex,
he's losing the trade.
He's turning this up. He's got the strafe, and now he's got support here. And now you always think you can block Desert Fury, but you can't. In comes Unstable Vortex, follows through the portal. Full CDR, Unstable Vortex again. Beads forced out as well to reset that. And now here comes a huge rotation from the members as Game Hunter trying to just get that kill, and he does. He is now 4-0.
Good rotation from Game Hunter there. Moex played that really well under the tower, though, because as soon as you start losing the traders or hunting, you've just got to back away. You can't keep trading, otherwise it's over. He tries to back away, and then the rotation comes in for queuing. He thinks, okay, it's 2v1, but then Janus in the mid lane, Carino, played that really well to notice what was going on and rotate himself to make it a two-kill pickup, two-kill swing in favor of NightsWatch.
Carino's hitting these portals that, well, they are very hard to hit.
I mean,
it's impressive.
I'd give him credit, but I just saw him portal himself through the ground by mistake. That was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that'll happen 7 times out of 3.
7 times. That's when you played. I saw you yesterday.
Hey, I was.
Yeah, you beat Bart though.
Oh, dude, Bart's free. I was crushing with Poseidon. I can't play anything else besides mid. So
you're an Xbox player then?
Yeah.
You play everyone else but Poseidon.
I play everyone who's good on the Xbox.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's what I do.
Well, 66. The one thing to note about this game, guys, it may look a little bit like, why are these two teams even playing? Well, the loser of this, basically, if NightsWatch can 2-0 Upcoming Stars, this will mean that NightsWatch move themselves up to 7th, which puts Upcoming Stars bottom seed again in the SPL for a 2nd season. On top of that, it means the Challenger Cup team, the #1 seed from the Challenger Cup trying to fight in the relegations, will face off against the bottom seed from EU. And the way the Challenger Cup is playing out right now is that the #1 seed coming out from EU will probably be the one to really watch and be the one that could potentially take a game off these guys.
Iren's now sitting with Qin. They will rotate out of this one, and that is a Pestilence being finished here by Ymir. Turn up. Turn up. I love seeing the mages back in the solo lane, man.
I mean, having mages back, I'm not...
That just makes it, it really just gives me another role to play, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, I can't get mid? Okay, yeah, solo, bro.
I'll Poseidon solo, it'll be fine.
Nah, man, the rod, the dream, shredding everything with Tower Assault here on Iren's. He will back up and lifesteal off of this one, and Qin will come for the help side of this. Now, as this game does go on longer, it's important to note that NightsWatch will lose kind of a CC with Wolf of Elo Street in the sense of Cavalry Charge won't be nearly as potent. Instead of, it'll turn into shepherding the team.
I mean, what Cavalry Charge starts off as is one of the highest damaging abilities in the game. If you can hit every single auto attack while you're on the back of the horse, you can do a lot of damage. But it's generally there for the secure, because you can obviously Cavalry Charge in, give yourself CC immunity, mobility to get in as well, and cause issues for the team. And then he can drop down for the CC as well. Big rotation left over. Iren's is overextended here. He's got reinforcements, but they're going to be late.
Yep. And Desert Fury to stop that CC from happening. The shield will buy him some time, but
not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough time, and that's a potential now for NightsWatch to go for the goal through if they so feel like it. But they're not gonna. They're gonna choose the side of caution, which makes a lot of sense for me, honestly.
Well, you can hold that. You can hold that thought as Zendern will just walk up and say, "Hey, you sure you want these mid harpies? Because they looked really good on me."
There we go, Gold. They saw them all back up way back to their own jungle. This is a shout, go Gold right now. They all went back into their jungle again. They know the hunter's still dead for a few more
Hercules is
seconds.
teleporting over, I think.
Is he going to? He's going to look for it. Will he find it eventually? Where's the ward, though? That's the question. I'm not sure where the ward position is.
Oh, they just killed it. Cataclysm will prevent Wolf of Elo Street from pushing up a bit as the game will pause here. Looking at it, Frosty has disconnected, and he will be back in just a brief moment.
The game, the way it's been played out between the two teams right now, it's all going to come down to this goal fury, I feel, about where it's going to go.
Yeah.
What Cherio's done as well, we touched on it a minute ago about the Pestilence, right?
Yep.
And what he's got that for is the conviction of Guan Yu. The heal is too strong and could cause a lot of issues for them to try and bring him down. So they're trying to reduce that healing a little bit. But what that turns Cherio into is less bursty than he'd probably like to be, honestly. Because generally, after picking up the Breastplate of Valor, you're looking for a little bit more damage if you can find it, especially because he's got Wingblade too. Game
Hunter just really needs to be careful as soon as it turns into team fights here. Bede's forced out, and he just needs to make sure. And he's got Combat Blink, which is beautiful. So really, the concern here is there's so much CC on the side of Upcoming Stars that as soon as Cherio is able to jump into the back and grab a hold of Game Hunter, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that's the big issue we get with the Alpwash. He's got no actual escape.
Which so justifies his damage numbers, though, right?
Exactly, but that's why the Combat Blink is so very, very useful on him.
They're doing it. Eagles rally in. Geb Shield will stop it again as Carino will be there. He drops a portal. Cherio now wisely doing that. The Spirit Ball connects. Sausage is here.
Backside. Look who's on the back.
Knock up, baby.
Look who's on the back.
Driving him in. Cavalry charge forced out. Apwash is here. Game Hunter misses the burst. He does have the Crips, and now he's trying to figure out what's the best play. As Frosty will try to run away. Spirit Ball max range not happening. See you later, buddy. Game Hunter picks up one. Iren's and the 4 members of Upcoming Stars who are left will sit in the middle, battling for territory here as Game Hunter now has to choose his route ever so carefully.
I'm surprised he didn't see Game Hunter go all the way in there with the Crips and just push them all the way into the team and force this engagement to go on. But the tanky lineup of upcoming stars has allowed them to get the push and keep. Look at the sustain that they've got in this lineup too. They're very, very tanky right now. They're going to burst down this tier 1 tower. With Zinder being down, Carino just got forced to use beads there. Razor dead, but Game Hunter's here. A little bit lower mana.
The Crips are empty.
Oh God,
look at
Crips.
the damage. Down goes Q and Game Hunter with a flawless game so far as he picks up a kill on Geb. They lose the tower. They take out the support. And the Gold Fury is down for the time being, so it's really a matter of what TheNightsWatch can take from this.
A little bit of a forgetful thing there, but Wolf of Elo Street used his cavalry charge just to stun them inside of it, and that allowed for Game Hunter to pick up that kill. Otherwise, he should have been able to walk out of that field. Gem of Isolation finish for Game Hunter. It just makes that God more brutal now, because the slows upon slows upon slows, it just starts to add up.
It just, you know what it feels like? It feels like Atlanta Heat. When you're stuck in the crypts, it's like you're just, you can feel it on your bones. Like you just can't shake
You just want to
Yeah.
feel that feel. I'm learning it slowly but surely.
Yeah. Game Hunter now still clearing through the jungle here.
I just feel they should have focused him earlier right now. These rotations that have
Yeah.
happened. Oh, Frosty with the blink. Cherry with the blink. Carino with the portal to save himself. Put the circle of protection. We'll stop that. And now Zindern is 2v1.
Freeze coming off cooldown here as the wall was just off the mark. Zindern will be able to get out of this one. That wall was placed so he could follow it up with the stun. And now he's going to try to steal this red as Wolf of Elo Street's going to spot him out. Tower Assault, who's going to get it? And it will go to upcoming stars as Cherio will grab that and walk out. Spirit Ball connects. Cavalry Charge, he's separated from his team. They could turn on this. He goes full into the ultimate. Zinder now trying to fight this one up, but he's got to go back as Moax has no abilities. Wolf of Elo Street all by himself. The dash through is good. The wall is better, and Cherio saying, guys, I got him locked in. We can do this.
Game Hunter's going to get picked here by Yrens, but the Crips come out. The combat blink away will force to disengage, but that's combat blink down now for 180 seconds.
That's
plus
a
the
long
Crips
time,
too.
boys and girls.
It is a very, very long time, but it's a great ability to have. I mean, he was dead to rights then. And what happened with Wolf of Elo Street there, it looked like he was going randomly into there alone, 3v1, but he was buying time for that Game Hunter rotation, but they knew about it, and then they managed to disengage beforehand.
Yeah, so looking at Hercules' build here, he's got the Jotuns, right? That's going to give him the penetration, but next is going to be this Wingblade. He's tired of Game Hunter. He's going to say, well, you know what? You want to hit me with slows? Yeah, I got something that can handle that.
Yep, Wingblade is bottom. Frosty ate the full combo of damage. That's what happens when you get Book of Tough and Obsidian Shot on the Janus. Just get bursted in half a second.
Man. Eventually...
They're starting to chunk now.
Yeah, eventually there comes a time when Janus, even though he goes full CDR at the beginning, he just starts hurting. And so it was a Book of Thoughts. We touched on that earlier, and that's full circle at least now. And the penetration that he's getting as well is definitely going to be very beneficial as he'll be able to cut through. And you can kind of see on upcoming stars, they have a lot of magical protections.
Yeah, so Obsidian Shard will help him out a lot more. Because Stone of Gaia, Pestilence as well, Amulet and Sovereignty, they'll help out against those for that as well. So having that Obsidian Shard will allow them to burst through the tanky targets a little bit more. I expect to see a Soul Reaver coming up. It generally does. Probably after Rodder Tahuti, generally.
Well, they will clear it up. They throw an Unstable Vortex at the Fire Giant, trying to see if there is any other wards as Cherio is going to get hit as the wall will prevent him. And Sausage going around on the backside. The reconnaissance mission here is Game Hunter. He's segregated from his team, and he will now push up the wall. Will stop that bludgeon from getting any damage off. And now Yrens will wisely start up the speed buff. And now it really comes down to a matter of footsies here, Hindu.
It's footsies, but I feel TheNightsWatch are the ones in the advantage now. They've got a 2k gold lead. They're winning most of these engagements as time's going on. I don't think upcoming stars are going to have the damage as this. This is why Sausage has gone into Jotuns, which I was about to touch on, is because Cherio's gone very defensive now. He's gone more support utility. They've got Qin support utility, but Renz isn't that big, and neither's Frosty right now. They're doing okay, but they're not as big as they'd like to be in terms of their builds.
Well, that wasn't a bad play at all there. They got beads down on Janus. That's going to be down for 90 seconds as now Sausage will get whittled away at. Game Hunter throws out the damage. Cherio gonna get stuck. The boulder's gonna get ricocheted off the wall. Boulder. Now Wolf of Elo Street's coming in. Desert Fury forced out. Carino gets one, and now still pushing up is gonna be the Zender, and he's on Hercules. Pets, oh God. Reg trying to find one there, wasn't able to get anything with the Petrify.
It's just continuing to chase because all they have to do is get Game Hunter to like one ability every time, and it's so slow. It forces the beads on Frosty to get rid of that. Uses Wing Guts for the back pedal, but Moex is chasing him down. They don't manage to find the Impale, but they do find the slow over the wall from Game Hunter one more time. And now NightsWatch clean up 4, full 0.
I really don't know what was more impressive in that team fight. How good Threshold is, or the fact that Game Hunter's positioning, going up against a team comp who can very easily lock him down, is really flawless.
Well, Kimmer's going to try and defend the Fire Giant, but there's a portal, and that's the end of that. Fire Giant goes to the NightsWatch, and maybe Zinder can stick to this if he so chooses. Decides against it, which is smart. They should go back to base and spend this money and then start to look for the push now.
Yeah, that was a really big play. So Q1 has level 1 blink. So if he gets in combat, he can't blink over and try to steal the Fire Giant, and it was a very good heads-up play from Zinder to just kind of walk over and say, hey, you're not welcome in this bar.
That's all that needs to happen every single time. You've got to make sure that they don't manage to steal it away, because if they do, it's going to cause you so many more issues of having to just deal with the blink composition of the Cataclysm too.
Height of the Urchin was picked up here by the Bellona, which is an item we haven't really seen get much love at all in the summer split.
It's not a bad item. That's the issue. It's not a bad item. It's just that rank 1 of it is generally frowned upon because it's not very good, because it doesn't have any health on it anymore. But Height of the Urchin obviously gives you stacks, gives you protections for physical and magical. And against this composition, you're going to have to deal with both of those with the likes, you know, of a Medusa and a Hercules, as well as the burst. Well, there's not actually that much burst in the Ymir right now.
I want to take a look at the charts anyways. I mean, I think we've looked at them once.
Not too much.
The last time it was like 400 difference between them.
Look how even it was. Up to about 23 minutes there, 23:35. You can see that it started to dip, came back up again, and then boom, a few minutes later, dropped all the way down. And now NightsWatch are the ones starting to just run away with this game now. And I feel, looking back at this game, upcoming stars need to realize they messed up with Game Hunter. They let him free farm. They let him free farm, and with a Ymir and a Hercules, they should have probably focused him a little bit more in the early game. They could have put the pressure on. I don't feel they did.
Zinder will lead the charge here as Bellona got a Frostbound Hammer as well as an Executioner and a Nickable. He has no problem shredding and lasting in the battle, but Qin, it's really all eyes on him. He's got put into comment here by the Scourge, so he can look to blink Cataclysm, even though he really doesn't want to do that. It's a last resort, as we will now see Sausage try to get the knock up. He falls back. He gets stunned out as well. And this poke battle is definitely going to go in favor of NightsWatch.
Well, as the time goes on, yeah, I mean, because they've got Conviction on the side of Wolf of Elo Street as well. And now you can see he's quite happy to tank this up, Wolf of Elo Street. He doesn't mind getting aggro, but he's not good at the moment because Zinder's tanking.
Wow.
Wolf will get full bursted, but it did cost him the Circle of Protection now.
Yeah, but they weren't even able to get the tower out of that one, so the portal drops down. Crypts are down Crypts are not down. Carreño now backing it up, forced out to beads, forcing him all the way out with an Impale as Moex with a beautiful play, giving peel for his mid laner. That's the versatility of Anhur, as now we will see upcoming stars try to turn this one down.
It's just going to delay everything that's going on. Yep. It's not that NightsWatch have to base here. They can go and defend the towers. Cherio and the boys of upcoming stars want to find a pick, though. They know they got beads off of Moex, and there's the leap away before the freeze could get in range. They were trying to wall him off. If they can find a pick, what have they got available here? Cataclysm, that's what they've got. But the boulder into the pillar says, not today, says Moex. I had a bowling pin.
A bowling pin?
A bowling pin.
Bowling pin is the thing the bowling ball hits.
And that's why I said I'm not a bowling pin, because they didn't get hit by it.
Oh,
yeah, Gandhi.
Your witticisms are so extreme.
It's because I'm British.
I know. Trust me, I watch the BBC. I get it.
I didn't even know you could get BBC over here. I'm going to go home and find out.
I think I watch Doctor Who.
Good point, and I even thought about that. But the delay from NightsWatch now, waiting for Wolf to come up. It did, but it's only on Q, and but Renz is the one that's going to get the iron price paid, and he will go down. There's nothing he can do there.
Yeah, he was just trying to stay alive for a little bit longer to kind of slow the push here of upcoming stars. But
that'll be a Phoenix now. That's a Phoenix without Renz being online. I don't think we can really see, unless like we see Wolf of Elo Street rinse repeat what he just did a minute ago and get picked off. I don't think they have the burst damage to do this. What they're doing though, they've sent Game Hunter mid to get that tier 2 while they can continue contesting this Phoenix.
Follow-up CC on to Zinder, and here is now Sausage will be split up from his team by just a little bit. Cherio, he does have an E-Staff, so he just got even more tanky with a little bit of damage. Spirit Ball will hit, and upcoming stars holds very perfectly.
Sorry, in the middle lane, Game Hunter is still pushing.
Did he just blink?
He took the tier 2 tower. He's pushing down this one as well. And now he's going to force somebody to come to defend. And when they do, the left-hand side pushes in. This is just abusing the map with rotations here.
Zindern could be in a lot of trouble. The knock-up hits as well. Wall's going to be good, but Moex is able to find the one-on-one he was looking for with Isis. Cherio, ultimate is down. Unstable Vortex hits as well. Sausage in a one-on-one with Game Hunter. And Game Hunter says, bring it on, bro. The Crypts are out.
All the way
and he's just going to push this one up. He's going to take a couple shots from the Phoenix, wait for his teammates to get here, and now they will just try to push down this middle Phoenix. And right now, the assault of TheNightsWatch has looked very good.
Yeah, but now Renz is back online. The combat blink from Game Hunter comes out. He's going to pick up the zombies on the floor to try and sustain himself. Renz is going to chase him down, though, for that kill. Backside, but for Velo Street is still up against the team. And now Renz going aggressive again. He's looking for the kill onto Carino. Portals through the wall. The dot's not going to apply. But meanwhile, Moex is a little bit overextended, buddy.
Yeah. He does have a jump at least, so there's that.
You don't want to jump into it.
And beats preemptively here as Desert Fury comes out. Actually, that was just Desert Fury, excuse me. And now Sausage was able to shut him down.
And now the Fire Giant's available now for upcoming stars to try and get themselves back into this. If they don't get this Fire Giant, this will probably be game to TheNightsWatch. They have some defenders, though. Wolf of Velo Street does have cavalry charge, which means he can't be stopped from running all the way in unless Cherio can get a perfect wall off. Plus, he's got Medjais too, so that's pretty big. But they've already got the shockwave off. So that means Medjais is down right now. Here's the cavalry charge. It's too early, though.
It's
They're going to try and fight.
It's enough to delay, though. Through space and time has been come out. They get off of the Fire Giant, and now this is perfect for them. Carino realizing this isn't the fight he wants, and his teammate takes the portal, and now because of that, he will pay with his life. Driving strike followed up. The wall still stands, and just like that, upcoming stars is able to take out two members of the TheNightsWatch.
This game's going to keep going. I don't think Game Hunter can make it back here in time. Wolf of Velo Street has no Medjais available, has no cavalry charge. Is he going to try and contest this? Well, he should attempt to, but if he does and he fails, what's going to end up happening is they'll take more towers down here.
Spirit Ball, max range, will go ahead and connect with the Fire Giant there. You got to try to miss that one, but the Fire Giant has been picked up by upcoming stars, and well, they were down by as much as 7,000 XP, and now they find themselves with the Fire Giant in hand.
Yeah. They're still down. Just to be clear, they're still down. They've got two Phoenixes to have to defend, so TheNightsWatch, what all this is doing with the Fire Giant is going to stall time for upcoming stars to try and get themselves back into this. They've got a long way to climb back into it.
Well, you can see, I mean, they got as bad as 9,000 experience difference, as well as more than 8,000 gold, so.
And it's still bad now because they're going to get the Golf Fury again. They've still got two Phoenixes to defend against. You can see TheNightsWatch try and siege up right lane here. That's what I'd look to do, actually. Just siege up right lane. You don't have to fight. You don't have to force the fight. Just keep pushing right lane in over and over again until Fire Giant's on cooldown.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to do.
Yeah, they really just need to buy time for the Phoenixes to come up, right? That's priority one. Get Phoenixes, and then from there. All right, guys, let's safe farm. Let's not try to look at any fights we don't want to take, and we'll move from there. I mean, in reality, the experience is pretty much even, right? Both supports are level 18, everyone else is level 20.
And so experience doesn't really matter, but the gold kind of influences the difference between 5th and 6th items here. For the most part, you can even see it. Frosty in this mid lane, he's only on 4 items so far, as he's had to invest elsewhere. Not got as much gold as he'd like to. Meanwhile, Janus, Carino, 3, 2, and 10. 17k, there's a 3,000 gold difference in that mid lane, and that hurts when it comes down to burst damage.
Yeah, if we could check out gold in hand, one big difference is going to be, so Janus, he's really trying to stack this up so he can get this Soul Reaver, which means, well, these tanky gods of Sausage, Cherio, and Qin, if they step front and they catch an unstable Vortex, they're not nearly as tanky as they used to be.
But the Hunters are now full build as well now. So keep an eye on the Hunters in the next engagements. The crits are going to start flying out. Both have Deathbringer and Rage.
There's the Soul Reaver as well.
And there's the Soul Reaver, like you said. So just keep an eye for the all-in. What they'll generally be looking to do, not necessarily burst down the highest health target. They'll try and pick like Frosty or Renz with that burst damage. If you can find that Carino, that frontline damage is going to disappear quickly.
For sure. But the problem is you can't prioritize Carino in these team fights because he's Janus. You just have to make sure you kind of dodge the inconsistent damage that can kind of be thrown out from him.
What you're seeing from TheNightsWatch here is they're grouping up as a 4-man, and they're allowing Game Hunter to be this sort of out of the fight, in the fight sort of position every single time. He's not on top of his teammates. So if they blink initiate onto the team, they're not going to get Game Hunter. But if they blink initiate onto Game Hunter, they're not going to be able to find the rest of the team so they can support him. Game Hunter going to have to trade out with Sausage here and realizes he doesn't like that fight this time. It is against a Fire Giant Hercules this time. I can see why he chose to back away.
Unstable Vortex not connecting here with Sausages. It was really just a way to throw down some damage if he can, but Fire Giant on Hercules at this point in the game with Midgardian Mail and a Stone of Gaia. He's going to heal it up pretty quick. And he did cut it. So that's going to be the Soul Reaver proc. Cataclysm follows up. Game Hunter is down. Now the follow-up freeze as well. Frosty's in a great spot. He's looking for it. Cavalry charge forced out. Sausage, can he get into a spot? Cheerio can. The blink was good, but he didn't follow up the damage.
Is the wall available for Cheerio here? Don't forget his Q's going to find the knock-up. Can Cheerio get in range with the wall? No, they will not catch Wolf of Elo Street. Right-hand side, Carino recalling now as Moix was trying to support Wolf, and he's going to get walled off, but leaps away before the freeze connects. And the Fire Giant, not too much time left on it, but it's going to be long enough for him to get a tier 2 mid here.
Yeah, they need to take the tier 2. They also need to think about taking this tier 1 on the far right side because there's no reason not to.
What happened in mid? They lost the Phoenix for free because they were looking for this aggression, trying to find the pick. So at the moment, there's a full minion wave hitting on the Titan. It's not going to be enough to kill it, but it's going to weaken it some more.
Circle of Protection's down, though. They're trying to end this right now. Looking for the Phoenix damage here. The follow-up, they've knocked up Wolf of Elo Street. Zindern looking to get involved in this team fight. Eagles Rally has just came online. It's a 5-on-4. The Titan is already at 64% health because of this push and that no one was able to go back.
And the problem is it's not going to heal up until all 3 Phoenixes are back online. That's the big key to the Titan. So it will stay at this HP. So there's still a chance that Nightwatch could potentially all in. Don't forget they've got a Janus here. So they could potentially all in. They're full build right now. All the towers are down. The Phoenixes have been weakened. If they choose to through space and time and go all in, but say that, they're going on Rens.
I think it's really what they just wanted. I think they were just looking to burn this combat blink down, but that's actually not the case. Through the portal comes Carino. Eagles Rally follows it up. Cheerio's going to be here as well. The Geb shield goes on to Frosty. He manages to stay alive, and he's out of that one. QN now takes an unstable vortex to the head, as now they will back it all the way up to the Phoenix. And
they're going to back it up. I mean, we're going to see Rens live here, but this Phoenix is a weakened Phoenix here, Gandhi. I don't think there's a whole lot they can do to defend this one now, unless they burst everything on defense. And then if they do that, they can't engage again.
The Crypts are out as well, followed up by the Spirit Ball, just off the mark. Sausage now, he's separated from his team. He is in the middle of all 5, as now it is just delayed. The burst
Phoenix
damage
falls.
coming out from Game Hunter. He now chunks away at his opponents. The wall comes down. Cheerio trying to force this one out, but they're all cut off. Cavalry charges here. hi-rez gets exploded.
Completely.
And now Qin will be the next target, and Sausage will be forced out of this one. Did he pop mitigate wounds? He did, and Moex will be able to clean that one up. NightsWatch looks to be able to take this game number 1.
That's going to be game, and it's going to go over to NightsWatch. That's important for them, because if they can get one more game now, Scott, what that's going to mean is that they will take 7th position after being bottom of the show for the whole season and come back and find themselves 7th. This, for me, this tournament, these 2 games, that game today, sorry, I should say, that game so far shows exactly why these 2 teams are bottom. And I'm not trying to be offensive to them, they know this, but what they're doing is they're misplaying. There was too many misplays from both of them in that game. NightsWatch in full control. They overstayed their welcome. They allowed Upcoming Stars back into it. Upcoming Stars got Fire Giant off that, pushed back against them. Then Upcoming Stars overstay their welcome, committing forward, get capitalized on, throw the game back once again. That's the issue the teams have.
Yep. Well, it's time to take a look at the first blood. It was a long game, so we'll see how this one was able to shake up off the beginning. It was a fight around the mid-harpies, and it was none other than Sausage. And
this was close. Game Hunter nearly got the secure here, Gandhi, on the first kill.
Watch the portal go through.
Watch the circle of protection.
Look at this,
boom!
right, instantly. He knows the range. He just goes, you're not having this one. And the big thing there that you actually end up seeing in that highlight as well is that Game Hunter picks up a kill. Yep. And I have to say, we were a little bit curious at first, and then I was able to break it down. But I like Outpush going into Sausage.
Outpush is good, but the problem is that I think Cheerio should have been a lot more focused in that lane. There should have been a call from Upcoming Stars to focus down that Outpush early and get Sausage so big, there would be no way for them to kill Hercules.
It's kind of like Hell. At the beginning, you don't let Hell get past 20 minutes. You just don't. You make her 0-3 in lane, and that's it. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the map control here. Is 43% went in favor of Upcoming Stars, meaning that, well, NightsWatch gets the rest. Mid-Harpies, 32%, or 32%. 32 out of 42 total.
That's where it started to go wrong for them, is the mid-Harpies. I felt like they were contesting the first ones, and then they just gave them up. NightsWatch took them time and time again. The only time I saw the Stars come back was when the Gold Fury The Goal Fury, the call that got them the first Goal Fury of the game was great from them because they realized they were losing mid-camp contention. They brought themselves back to even again with that Goal Fury. But then after that, it just continued going mid-Harpies to Night's Watch.
Yep. It was, at the beginning, it really was anyone's game, though, to be fair.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
around those mid-Harpy fights, it started off and I was like, okay, you know, upcoming stars, they look good, right? They forced out that Gold Fury and we were talking about it like, oh, they gave up the positioning on mid-Harpies, but at least they were able to get this Gold Fury. And that was the first real lead of the game. And then you just see Night's Watch really just kind of go forward. And it's no shocker here that Game Hunter is going to be your player of the game. His stats 6, 2, and 5, but what he brought to these team fights is what's important here.
Is what our Bosch does. He's thrown out the crypts time and time again, just for zoning duty for the most part, but the dot damage is good. He's throwing his abilities, trying to stay on the backside. The biggest thing on the positioning side of it is during the major team fights that we saw, is that he always kept himself apart. We saw him picked right at the end, though, when we saw that big Upcoming Stars push, where Upcoming Stars found him alone and the team weren't there to protect him. But for the most part, what he was doing, he was positioning away from the 4-man unit of the rest of the team and make the enemy team choose of like, you want me? My team's going to kill you.
Yep.
You don't want me? Well, I'm going to kill you. My team's going to probably do well too.
He's a Apuash is a less safe version of Habwa, if that's even possible. Because at least he can use Crushing Wave to get out,
that's true.
right?
That's true.
And give him like, and the carpet.
Blink.
You can't give that up at all. And you always have to pay dividends. I miss him. And his 3. And
I don't miss Habwa. I miss playing as him.
I like his 3 ultimates.
His 3 ultimates and the wet paper.
Well.